You would blow my mind if you had said you were aware of these guys.
I'm aware of these guys.
Yeah, yeah. You're lying to me.
I just wanted to see that. Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of That's Audiophiles. My name's John. His name's Andy. I remember when I lost my mind. There was something so pleasant about that place. Even your emotions have an echo in so much space. More on that another time. But first, we have a track to listen to. Andy, what have you got up your sleeve?
Well, I've got another return to the tree of audio. And we are going to pluck a track called hrsb by a band called Beach Goons.
Beach Goons.
Yes, Beach Goons.
Okay.
Yeah. You would blow my mind if you had said you were aware of these guys.
I'm aware of these guys.
Yeah, yeah. You're lying to me.
I just wanted to see that.
Please go off, give this performance a watch, a listen. Let me know what you think of hrsb by the Beach Goons.
No. We're starting that. 3 minutes. Yeah, we're starting that again. The Canción, is it a 3-piece? Must be. Awesome sound. First salvo. Kind of made me think of Pixies a bit. Anyway. Yeah, listen to that again. Drums sounded excellent. The bass sounded superb. Guitars, what more do you want? They're doing that trick, and I know, I'm sorry to bring this up, but you know, if there is a time that I can think of Pixies, I do think of Pixies. They did it, loads of other bands do it as well, but they do this bit where they'll sing a line fairly subdued and then step back and just thrash the guitar a bit and then come back in and sing a song and then sing a line, then come back and thrash the guitar a bit, and it's just really pleasing. Yeah, it's almost like he's underlining what he's just said. I heard something about they smoked a ton of wax and he wondered where his life was going. It's funny. Yeah, really nice. when he goes into the bit where he's singing the line, his guitar is almost echoing the drums, and the bass is free to just wander around the shop. Yeah, really, really nice.
You just built a damn song. I drive out late at night, no gas, but a car as fast as I'd like.
Sorry, but the bass player, it looks like a beat up version of Richard Ayoade. And such a big unit and this lovely, gentle voice coming out of it. I find that charming. Oh.
You're watching Audiotree Live. We're in the studio with Beach Goons.
I mean, there's some things that are obvious, but some things it's hard to really pinpoint exactly why. But I bloody love that. I thought it was really immediate, engaging, energetic. Well, a great performance as well for clearly young set of lads, but they seem confident and accomplished. Seem to be having fun as well. The bit where it slowed down was just really nice. It kind of reminded me of sort of earlier Parquet Courts. This attitude. It's almost feeling that there's a little bit of like showing off, but not quite. But you get that. Yeah, we're this good. And fair enough, you are. I know. Yeah, really. The drum was excellent. The bass player was superb. Singer guitarist was engaging as well. Absolutely superb. Yeah, I want to check out more of this band. Definitely. So I need to know more about it. So let's go back, talk it over with Andy.
All right. Well, welcome back. What did you make of the Goons a la Playa? These beach goons.
Interesting. So starts off with a nice bit of energetic thrashing. I have to say immediately it's great sound from the three piece.
Yeah.
We were talking about this before, I don't know why, but sometimes three pieces when they work just sound really good. I don't know. There's no reason for it at all.
I was trying to keep tight-lipped about that when I saw one. I knew the track I was giving you. I know you've said that, so have I numerous times, and I saw a Police album behind you. And I'm like, oh, stay away from the three-piece thing till he's done.
Yeah, totally by accident, but yeah, it just happened. Random. So first verse kicks in, and they do this trick where, or no trick, this sort of practice where he sings a line in a fairly sort of low key, and then it sort of steps back and hits the guitar for a riff, and then back in, sings the line, and then back and hits the riff. And I associate that, rightly or wrongly, with some of the Hispanic tinged up tempo songs, particularly from Pixies. Warning, warning, Pixies are like, if I can speak about them, I will, and I will. It's like Isla Cantor springs to mind straight away. They a bit more extreme version of it, but it's the same sort of thing. So and that's how they do it. But anyway, because he sings in Spanish, so I have not a clue what he's saying.
Yeah.
But anyway, he does that, and I immediately like that straight away. It's a great sort of technique, and it's engaging. And I love that shit anyway.
Yeah.
And it gives you a chance to rock out, but also get across whatever it is you're saying. Sadly, I was so in love with the music, I didn't really get much of the lyrics. Apart from he did sing, "We smoked a ton of wax, and I wonder where my life was going," which I thought was hilarious. And I did actually listen to the lyrics, but they kind of washed over me, and I didn't retain any other words. I have to say straight away, the bass has a great tone and is really expressive. The drums are muscular, and I really love the drive. But yeah, so I'll sort of get into my notes are a bit all over the place. So the singer, he does a great job. And when we get to the end of it, he vocalizes, which is really cool. And then the bass player vocalizes. Now, for such a big unit, a hefty unit, I have to say, there's a British sort of writer, actor, comedian. He's produced loads of music videos as well. His name's Richard Ayoade. And this bass player looks like a hefty blown up version of him.
Right. Yeah.
And then he pitches him with this beautiful, sweet, gentle voice. And they really both surprised and delighted me. I thought it was great. So they rock out for a bit. And there's a nice little cheeky bass fill at the end of our do-do-do-do. And then it's back into the next verse. And I have to say the dynamics are superb as well on this. And again, he's doing that thing. They're all performing excellently. But I notice that now at this point, that when he does this bit, when he delivers his lyric bit before he thrashes out, his guitar is in sync with the drum. And they're both, so you're really compounding that beat and that thing, which gives the bass player the license to go wandering off, doing whatever he wants up and down the fretboard. And it, again, sounds brilliant, but it's almost like the guitar and the drums are the rhythm unit for that bit. And then he sort of riffs out again and then back in. So it's very cleverly done. I really like that. There's more vocalizing, and then we get this tempo switch. Here, I thought it was really interesting. I got from it the same kind of, not the sound, but the same attitude as kind of early Parquet Courts. Intelligent and playful. It's almost showing off a little bit and a little bit smokes like, look what we could do here. You know? But it was just, it was just the right amount that I absolutely love that section. It sounded fantastic, just slow down and doing that. Yeah. And then the drummer does the old stick clicks again to go back into the section, which again, ping, Pixies. There you go. And you go back into that energetic tempo. Brilliant. And they rock it out to the end. So I'm not an aficionado of surf rock. There's not a lot in the UK of surfing or surf rock. The guys down in Cornwall will probably argue against it, but it's pretty pathetic, really. We're not getting 50-foot waves, even with climate change. But so I don't know how surfy, and people talk about surf rock, and I don't know. I mean, Pixies labeled that, particularly Surfer Rosa, including the title, I guess. But I don't really recognize that, and I couldn't say yes, that is surf rock or not. But without being able to pinpoint exactly why, I do recognize this as having a Latino thrashy feel. I think a lot of that is to do with the aforementioned band from Boston, which I won't say again, because it has a lot of that to it. This was another short, sweet blast, but I would say it was immediate and engaging. I thought the performance was great. This three-piece sound was fantastic. It was energetic. It was accomplished. It was confident. And it was totally winning. I was severely impressed by it. Absolutely loved it. I want to hear more. Really, really, really good tune.
Awesome, man. I'm glad you liked it. And I thought you would. I thought you'd pick up some Pixies in there as well. There are a couple other bands that come to mind when I think of these guys as well, and I'll get into that as I go over them. I think they may even be alluded to in one of the quotes I have. I'm not for certain. But Beach Goons, they formed in 2015. They are an American surf rock three-piece. from San Diego, California, consisting of Pablo Cervantes on vocals and guitar, Chris Moran on drums, and David Orozco on bass. That's your unit. The band has released 2 full-length studio albums, Boy Sad in 2016 and Hood Rat Scumbags in 2018. So if you wanted to know what HRSB stands for, it is just the title track of that album, Hood Rat Scumbags. It bears noting that Cervantes, the main lead singer of the band, was only 17 and 19 when these albums were recorded, respectively. So it's likely that songs on the first album were written when he was probably 15 and 16 that made it onto their debut, which is pretty impressive. Their early singles displayed an unemotional punk indebted feel, but by the time they finished Boy Sad, the band's path began to take a different direction and more of the Beach Goons' personality began to shine through. For their follow-up album, Hood Rat Scumbags, Beach Goons didn't rush, spending 2 years working on the songs until they became the most potent examples of what they wanted to express. Most of the songs were scrapped or I rewrote them, Cervantes says of the writing process. It was just going to be an EP, but it got to the point where we had enough songs for it to be a full-length album. The product of all that work was the aforementioned Hood Rat Scumbags. Throughout the album's 10 songs, Beach Goons effortlessly blend genres, taking a bit from punk and surf to authentically express their lives and where they come from. We're from a Mexican community. We're all Mexican, and we really love to show it, Cervantes says. Logan Heights is the heart of Mexican culture and that heart of Chicano culture. And I really want to emphasize that this was our upbringing and this is who we are. Staying true to their Chicano roots, the band performs their songs both in English and Spanish. According to Corey Jones of Inertia, on Hood Rat Scumbags, the band conjures, and this is what I was talking about a moment ago, an early Strokes meets Arctic Monkeys sound that equally captures vintage reverb, distorted guitars, and an insane amount of energy. Now, both those bands, their first and their early works, really did a wonderful job of like capturing their identity, not only as people, but that from where they come. Like the Strokes sounded like New York, and it sounded like a bunch of kids running around New York, having fun, getting drunk, doing that scene. And the only reason I know anything about what it's like to be a teenager in Sheffield is because of whatever people say I am and what their experience was like chasing girls and going to bars and being in a young rock band and just having fun, and the colloquial terms that were used and all that stuff kind of gives you a really authentic glimpse into what their lives were like. These guys do the same thing for Chicano, Southern California culture, packaged in a similar type of music, but uniquely them and uniquely of that area. And I think that that's kind of cool how you have these 3 very different cultures that use the same kind of medium or music to express who they were when they were fucking, I don't know, 18 years old or whatever, right? So that's something that I found really charming about this album, and it did make me think, before I even came across this snippet, how much it reminded me of that early Strokes, early Arctic Monkeys stuff. 2 bands that I, absolutely adore. So really cool that they kind of had that going on for themselves too. When asked by Jones in the interview about his relatively young age and experience becoming a musician, Cervantes had this to say: I picked up a guitar because my dad had a guitar laying around growing up. I saw it one time, I grabbed it, and it felt fun to play. After that, I must have been 9 or 10 years old. I begged my mom to buy me a guitar, and she finally did. I had an older sister who was really into Depeche Mode and The Cure and a bunch of this 1980s new wave. I got really into that, which pushed me to do something with music. That's how it all started. So even his taste in music came from bands that like I really love listening to, some of which you also really love listening to. So kind of cool how that all played out. Album of the Year reviewer Jamie Smith wrote this of Hood Rat Scumbag: Surf punk at its finest. Songs that are poppy and catchy while also being raw and authentic. I'm a big fan of all the highs and lows on this album, and I love that they stayed true to their roots while creating an album that is a lot of fun to listen to. And Ileana Ramirez of KTSW reviewed the album and had this to say. The San Diego-based band stays true to their Hispanic roots on this record by incorporating the Spanish language on several tracks. With punk and cumbia elements, this album offers one word would accurately describe it is energetic. Each track jumps straight into one another, keeping listeners glued in. She would go on to add, from playing house shows in their hometown to playing large festivals like Riot Fest in Chicago, the band is slowly but surely making their name known everywhere. Beach Goons set up to reshape their sound on this record and were completely successful. So, jump into these lyrics before I get into a quote here. We drove out late at night. We took some cans and started painting. We smoked a ton of wax. I wonder where my life was going. All of my friends are gone. I have no say in all my crying. Things won't stop changing now, but no need to stress, no need for whining. Oh, that sort of higher registered oohing. I don't know what to do. I guess I'll think until I don't until it don't show. My clothes don't fit no more, but I'm just too broke to keep my drawers full. Wake up and sleep. No, wake up, can't sleep no more. Don't need this new today. I'm so annoyed. I drove out late at night, no gas, but I'll go as fast as I'd like. Ooh. So yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell, those lyrics. And this from our frontman in an interview with Rebel Noise, Jen Dan posed the following question to Cervantes, specifically about this track, HRSB. You kick out the jams on the frenetically energetic HRSB, an acronym for the album title, that roils with amped up punk tempos, indie rock guitar grit and shine, and sweet pop melodies. The contrasting bleak lyrics describe the impoverished, tough life in the hood. Would you say this is a track? Would you say this track is the most personal one on your album? And the frontman responded, the song's more about me just always worrying so much about what's to come and how I feel about my future. I wrote this after hanging out with a few of my homies. We all we did when we hung out was smoke, tag, skate, and get into shit just to get into shit. I think it touches more on the fact that I was so focused and worried about things I shouldn't have been worried about. The universe works in its own way. Everything will work out on its own, so I shouldn't worry so much. Yeah. Not every one of these people that participate in these hoodlum type things also have a fallback on being a great musician or someone that can pump out an album. So he lucked out. There are plenty of people that come from that don't have an out. But I do it's funny and relatable because I remember being like, fucking 16, 17 years old, not knowing what tomorrow was going to bring and, living in the now, which was doing shit just for the sake of doing shit. So yeah, it's relatable to me, even as I get older and those days are further and further back in my rear view. I just, again, that kind of attitude and talking about that kind of stuff reminds me so much of some of those other artists and early works by them that they released. So I'm glad you liked it, man. I thought it might have a little bit of I've never been like, oh yeah, John loves him some surf rock, but there are other elements to this than just surf rock. There are indie rock elements and kind of like this post-punk and punk attitude in it as well. So glad you recognized that and appreciated the song. And I hope you check out more by these guys.
Will do, definitely. I mean, I don't really recognize what this surf rock thing is. If you told me surf rock, I'd think Beach Boys.
Fair, okay. That's probably what most people think, to be honest with you, especially if you're not from, here or especially over there on the West Coast where surf rock is sort of rooted or whatever. So thank you so much for giving us a listen. Guys, please let us know what you thought of this track, hrsb, and of the band themselves, Beach Goons. Please, whatever you want to drop, use the comment field. The only price of admission is kindness. We very much do appreciate it. Also, like, share, and subscribe if you be so inclined. Really do enjoy bringing new people into the fold here and always interacting with you OGs that have been around here since the very beginning. Thank you so much for tuning in, and hopefully John and I will see all y'all in growing numbers on the next installment of the Audiophiles. See you later, guys.